What can I say about the Goslings that hasn't already been said? Let's look at their charts. From rectification, Kate Gosselin comes up Scorpio rising, born 9:40 p.m. DST. You almost don't have to rectify to come up with this rising sign. All you have to do is read Kate Gosselin, How She Fooled the World, The Rise and Fall of a Reality TV Queen. Kate's reputation precedes her, being dictatorial, flying into rages, spanking her kids a lot. She was feared, controlling, vengeful, silencing her enemies, keeping everyone under her thumb, bending to her will. So, for sure, this is Scorpio on steroids. With Mars ruled Scorpio rising and her Sun in Mars ruled Aries, along with Jupiter in Aries, this woman has a strong driving force, a mover and a shaker. Notice Venus in the 7th in Taurus. She married into money because John's parents are well-to-do and his father was a doctor. His father sent monthly support checks for John and Kate before the reality series. Here is John's rectified chart, born 8:27 a.m. He is passive, patient, sort of the opposite of Kate. Well, opposites attract. According to the book, Kate never qualified for fertility treatment as she had accidentally gotten pregnant a few years earlier. Kate tells John and the world she has PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome, which is the reason she would be a candidate for fertility treatment. First of all, she was never diagnosed by her fertility doctors that she indeed had PCOS. They just took her word for it. And secondly, she had already gotten pregnant years earlier, so she did not qualify for fertility treatments. Nonetheless, with the use of fertility treatments, 24-year-old Kate was pregnant with twins. This must have been a disappointment to Kate, because earlier she had become fascinated with a woman in Iowa, one Bobby McCaughey, who had given birth in 1997 to septuplets. Mrs. McCaughey received massive media attention, money, and gifts, including college scholarships for all her children, a lifetime supply of Pampers, 7 years of free cable, a 15-passenger van, and a brand new large house. She also received free meals, babysitting, house cleaning, and laundry services, along with community volunteers offering their services of doing anything the family needed. Local banks opened up accounts for donations that were pouring in. So Kate only winding up with twins must have been depressing. Ultimately, Kate convinced John to try for another baby. Actually, he was happy with his little family, but ultimately he caved. This time, Kate was prepared. Not only did she receive fertility treatment from her doctor, but she privately gave herself an HCG fertility injection from a kit she purchased online 3 months earlier. The result was 7 embryos. So the fix was in from the get-go. It eventually led to the reality series. Now, Scorpio rising has a way of taking on leadership of some goal, and the entire family is swept along with their having very little choice in the matter. And it's not that the family minds. Often family members like the idea of being in the hands of someone taking charge. So Scorpio rising has many redeeming features that more than make up for their domineering personality. For example, before the reality series, Kate Gosselin petitioned the state for a free nanny or caretaker, claiming a hardship situation for having so many children. The state gave her one. At some point, the state took the nanny back. Kate petitioned the state again and got back the free nanny. Another time, Kate managed to talk TLC into giving them the $1.1 million house they were filming in for free. TLC had no intention of doing that, but they couldn't ignore Kate's ratings clout and ultimately relented. Kate was always doing things like that, and the entire family benefited. That's the nature of her strong Mars driving force. That same driving force can make a person drunk with power. Since everyone's welfare was in her hands over a reality show she created, she can believe they owe her. It can turn a person into a tyrant. Scorpio rising is often looking for a mate they can dominate. Sometimes they're looking for a lackey, someone who will go along with their schemes, no questions asked. Kate achieved her goal. She got the multiples and single-handedly made the reality series happen. That was her baby, no pun intended. What was the result of that? The reality series supported the family. It gave Kate stardom. It gave the children a trust fund. That's where the benefits end, because John and the children were tired of the same old grind. With successful ratings never abating, the company takes over your life. As they make more demands on your time, they just throw more money at you. You owe your soul to the company's store.
Bless my soul, you load 16 tons. What do you get? Another day older and deeper in debt. St. Peter, don't you call me, 'cause I can't go. I owe my soul to the company store.
You have little time to yourself, and your youth slips away. As the children got older, they became cognizant of their classmates watching the show and got embarrassed. John was trained for IT. He was probably getting tired of being a glorified babysitter and a placeholder husband. He watched the years pass him by with no practical skills to show for it, no honing a craft, no widening his horizons. He never signed up for this. Although John appeared to love Kate, it is questionable whether Kate loved John, or for that matter, any of the kids. It seems as though she treated the entire family with utter contempt. For her to scold Colin for getting gum on his teddy bear and make him cry by telling him she's throwing it out is almost sadistic when you think about it.
What you doing, Joe?
I'm giving gum off of my sock.
No way. No way! You don't roll. Oh, Lord. Colin, if your bear has gum on and it's going in the trash, I'm not getting it out. Easy either. I'm throwing this bear away. I'm not dealing with it. I don't teach him to get gum on stuff. Your bear's going in the trash. Say goodbye to it. Yep. Kiss him goodbye. Because he can't go through the dryer anymore. Sorry.
Bears play together every morning.
It's too bad. Maddie, go get me the phone. I
It
just...
wasn't his fault that he got gum on his bear. It probably fell out of his mouth when he was talking.
We don't chew gum when we're 3.
Were all these people simply a means to an end? Dupe a guy into marrying you, trick him into giving you a litter of kids, do whatever steps necessary to get that reality show?
He says everything really came to a head one October evening at the dinner table.
You remember the conversation?
Yes, I know exactly where I was sitting at my dining room table. I was eating dinner. She came walking in, and the next thing out of her mouth was, I don't even know why we got married.
Wasn't just a moment of anger?
No. It was like weird. It was like everything was cool, dinner time came, kids went to bed, and then she comes strolling in and says these things. It's just out of the blue.
You don't know why she
I don't know
wanted to end
why. Go to therapy and figure it out. Help me out. Give me closure.
Maybe this is why it was so easy for her to make snipey remarks on nationwide TV to humiliate John. He had served his purpose. No point in faking it anymore. She sacrificed love to pursue her goals, and now that she attained them, it's her turn now to go out and find true love.
It's my turn to see what I can see. I hope you'll understand. This time's just for me because it's my turn. It's my
She did so with Steve, her bodyguard. The kids were even asking, is this going to be our new daddy?
Of an alleged relationship between Kate and her married bodyguard, Steve Neal, flood the supermarket headlines.
Where are the kids at, Kate?
Because to Kate, people are just pawns to be moved around at will. If she has no use for you, you are banished from the kingdom of which she is the undisputed leader. When Colin weaponized his knowledge of the inner workings of the family and told teachers Kate was abusive, she banished him from the kingdom.
That Kate had zip-tied your son to a chair in order to prevent him from being wild. Your response to that claim?
That's true. I mean,
it's true.
That is his words to a therapist that had to submit a report in court. And that's how I have custody of my son.
Kate didn't even attempt to hide her affair from John. What was he going to do about it? But this turned out to be a gross miscalculation. John wanted off the show. John is an Aries too. Just because he comes across passive, don't underestimate the aggressiveness of Aries or how far they will go. When the cameras stopped rolling, John and Kate would go into another room and scream it out.
Back when we used to be around, when they were filming, they would fight so incredibly much that the film crew would have a hard time getting 15 minutes worth of decent footage out of 8 hours of filming.
As controlling Kate was over her children, the nannies, cooks, housekeepers, TLC people that kowtowed to her, she had little power over John. She begged him to stay because he was an integral part of the show, and this could destroy everything she worked so hard to build up. She made every concession possible. He could have his separate life, girlfriends, whatever he wanted, just be present on the show. But he walked off anyway, tanking the ratings. If there's anyone who could stand up to Kate, it's Big Bad John. But he wasn't finished. John then went after TLC with child labor laws on the illegal amount of filming they were doing. Regardless of all the big money and lawyers TLC used against him, he had everyone down on their knees. John took away the best job Kate ever had. She retaliated by smearing him, implying he was tired of her and wanted out of family obligations to chase after other women. If he's not going to be on the show, she had no use for him. He was banished from the kingdom. There were other iterations of reality series that also failed. Kate plus 8, Kate plus date. There were a few sporadic gigs such as The Apprentice, Dancing with the Stars, Special Forces, interviews on talk shows. But this all dried up, and all she had left for income was John's child support, and then that too dried up. No one knows what happened to the money. It could have been bad investments, stocks, the draining expense on the family resources of educating 8, then 7 children for 12 years in private schools. That in itself could come to well over $500,000 by my calculations. Pushing 50, she had to go back to work as a nurse. Anyway, if this chart is correct, there is hope on the horizon. Toward the end of the summer, Kate's progressed moon will start going through her 10th house. This is often a time a person does a job he has never done before, although his background helped him get it. He is very fulfilled with this job. With the moon traveling through Leo, there's a good chance it could be Hollywood stuff. Who knows? We'll just have to wait and see. That's all I got. See you in the next video.